Okay, I feel like it's got to be teleportation.
Because if it would be pain on a 10, but only for 1 second, that's so worth it. Like, I
Oh,
think it's
okay.
like, I think it's face wash, moisturizer, brush my teeth, get in bed.
Yeah, so I would definitely eliminate all social media and all TV.
Powerful women are needed, okay?
So sad. I love that thought.
I'm a big old baby.
Pause. You know what I'm saying?
All right, hello, and welcome back to another video. It's your boy, Nairo Kenza, and today I'm here with two very, very special guests. Hopefully you know who they are. If you don't know who they are, that's fine too. But in fact, I'm going to let them introduce themselves because I talk too much. So let's start with the woman in pink first. State your name,
Hi.
purpose, who you are.
Yeah, my name is Cat, and Nayo and I are good friends. We met on Squid Games along with Hallie over there. And yeah, I'm a mental health doctor from Illinois. So Hallie, you want to take it away?
Sure. Well, I am also a fellow Squid Game player. I am Hallie. I am living in Chicago, but I'm actually from Maryland, and I work as a publicist for a small agency here in Chicago. So super excited to be reunited with you guys.
I know, it's wonderful. And Hallie and I live only about an hour away from each other. I'm in the suburbs and she's in the big city. So
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
neighbors.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm jealous. I live on the other side of the planet, so I can't relate.
Yeah.
Well, I have both of these ladies here today because we're going to play 7 questions plus 1 with Cat and Hallie. All right, well, let's go ahead and get this party started. All right, now this is my first time doing this with 2 people, so thank you ladies very much for offering yourselves as tribute, and hopefully this goes nice and smooth. All right, well, first question, y'all know what this is. Question number 1, teleportation or flight?
Yeah, so I'll jump in with that because this one I feel like is so easy. Okay, I feel like it's got to be teleportation because the time saver, like, and like emergencies, like say
Okay.
you need to get somewhere and you got to get there like that, right? You're saving time, which is probably like the most valuable thing in this world, right? So that's what I would go with. And I know you always ask people, is it going to be painful?
That was...
I'd be willing to endure pain to get somewhere as quick as I want. Hallie, what are you thinking?
I've got questions.
I would agree with that. Like, it's no contest for me. I think, especially because my family's on the East Coast and I'm such a nervous flyer. I hate airplanes. Every time I'm traveling, I'm like, I wish I could just teleport. It's that like flying, like if I had the ability to fly, it'd be maybe a lot of effort. It could get cold. It might just take longer. It would be a cool party trick though.
This is true.
But I have
You're gonna just like fly around the room.
like this. Like, we need extra wine for the party. Like, I'm gonna just fly there and back. But I think for selfish reasons, teleportation for sure.
Now, obviously, I have to ask some questions now. All right, first things first, Kat. You said you'd be okay with some pain. I got a threshold from 1 to 10. How much pain is acceptable?
Gosh, I guess it would depend if it's like instantaneous results. Like, are you teleporting and it's instantaneous? If it is, I would go a 7.5.
Wow, that's
Maybe.
pretty intense. That's pretty...
I mean, I guess it would depend on where you're going because like if you're going to work, I mean, I work 5 minutes from my home, so I wouldn't suffer to do that. But but if it was like, hey, a loved one is in the hospital, you got 5 minutes to get here, yeah, I would do it. You know,
Okay.
I would endure it. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I never thought about that exact scenario. I always think about like, maybe like I guess a transportation scenario, like, yeah, going to work or maybe going on like vacation. But yeah, having a loved one in the hospital, that's a whole new scenario that I didn't consider. I'm about to consider my answer on this one. But Hallie, what about you though? Like, would you consider pain or would you want it to be painless? How would it work for you?
I think it's not the level of pain, but like the length of pain. Because if it would be pain on a 10, but only for 1 second, that's so worth it to, skip the long commute to work, like it's 45 minutes on the subway. But if it's like I have to endure like, I don't know, a couple minutes of that pain, I might not be able to handle it. But yeah, if there was a situation that was so urgent, like, oh my God, you slept past your alarm for work, or like you have a loved one in the hospital, like at that point you have no choice. Like you have
those two things are comparable, Hallie. Sleeping in.
Well, don't go to the hospital and you've almost missed work.
Yeah. It just depends on how bad you want to get there.
Yeah.
All right. Last question about teleportation, and this is one that I always ask people too, because I kind of nerd out about this. How would the mechanics of it work for you though? Like, would it be something that you controlled like an ESP power? Would you have to step into like a teleportation chamber? Would you have to, for example, teleport to a place you've been before if you could teleport on your own? Or would this be like free range? Just imagine it. Like, how would the mechanics of it work for you?
Jeez,
I would just want to snap my fingers.
I
would just think about it really hard and snap my fingers. But a teleportation chamber, I would imagine, would maybe be expensive and inconvenient.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I think for me, I think of it more from like that science angle. Like I'd want it to be like neutrinos, right? That can kind of go through other substances. So I would want to I wouldn't want a station. I want to go wherever I want to go. You know, like if it's late at night and I'm thinking about going out in the desert to look at the stars, you know, I want to go there. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely want to kind of free range. I like Hallie's perspective of just like snap your fingers and you're there. I think that's awesome. That's a true power.
Yeah. I see why you guys got the Squid Game. You guys are both braver than I am. So yeah, very cool. So teleportation. All right. Well, next question. All right. Now this question, less scary and less painful, hopefully. But question number 2 is most used emoji.
I'm such an emoji user. Like I'm throwing out the hearts. I'm throwing out the smiley shiny eyes, like the sad eyes, but it's smiling, like the kind of like, oh, that's so cute face. I think my most used though is the nail painting. Like I think it's like, I think it's to me like it's sass, but it's girly, but it's also like still friendly vibes, you know. The nail painting is always at the top of my suggested.
I can see that.
That is so you, Hallie. That is so you. Like when you said it, just made so much sense with your personality, and it's fun. It's really fun and brings a lot to our text exchanges. But for me, I like to use the little pink flower. The pink flower is my most used, and I think for me, I know emojis, you know, they get their general idea, but we all have our specific like interpretation on it. For me, I think it just conveys like kindness or like gentleness, like kind of like, I know it represents like springtime and stuff, but for me, just like a gentle, like good morning and a little pink flower, like trying to be kind here. And that's what I find myself, you know, using the most. Like it's in the top right next to a heart, or the heart that's like growing, like, because I feel a lot of warm vibes with my friends. So I put that one in a lot as well.
I think both of these answers are like 100% both of you though. I think they represent both of you equally. Like, I think I'm definitely having the pink nails and cat in the heart and even the pink flower. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Now I want to see, what would the message, like what would the context be for you to send a pink flower and the nails at the same time? Like what kind of vibes would that give off if you were to sign off a message with that? You're like, no shade, but
Yeah.
Complimenting someone's outfit, like in a group chat, if someone's like, guys, like, should I buy this dress? Like, I feel like you're like flower, like you look fancy, but it's complimentary, and the nails are like slay.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Just really group chat would be using both of those for sure.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Yeah. Really cool. I'm loving this. And we're getting through these questions quite quickly, which is pretty cool. Feel free to look a bit more if you want to, especially with the next question, because we're going to stay on the topic of phones and technology, but now we're going to go a little bit deeper.
Pause. You know what I'm saying?
All right, here we go. Yeah. Question number 3. If you had to delete all but 3 apps from your phone, which ones would you keep? Now, just to throw this out there, you get to keep like the I guess the factory apps. So for example, like you can keep the default web browser. You can keep phone, you can keep calculator if you want to delete that.
Okay.
You have to think about that. Just like the additional apps that you've downloaded yourself, you have to delete all but 3 of those. Which ones would you keep?
Hallie, do you know? Because you're welcome to go first.
I definitely I do love social media. I feel like I'm just chronically online. I think out of all the social media, I have to keep TikTok, I feel like, because Instagram is just pictures, but TikTok, I feel like it's a wealth of like information and interaction, and it's never ending. And I feel like it's a cure for boredom. I think a lot of people hate on it because it's addictive, but I think you can use it as a tool for boredom.
Okay, so we're keeping TikTok.
Instagram.
All right.
TikTok.
And you have 2 more to save.
Okay, I have this app called Find Me Gluten Free.
Hey.
And literally an index of like every restaurant and the gluten free items it offers. And as a gluten free queen, like living in the city, so many places are accepting of it, but so many places just aren't. And so it's like a self-submitting app. So like another gluten-free queen goes there and they'll leave the review and be like, here's what they had that was gluten-free, here's their policies. Is this safe for celiac disease? Is it not? And it's my Bible, like, especially as someone who loves to go out for dinner and drinks, like my friends will just send a random place that just opened and Find Me Gluten Free gets me every time. And the browser does not work. Like if you look up this on a browser, it will just prompt you to the app. So you need the app. And this is a free plug for Find Me Gluten Free. So if Find Me Gluten Free sponsor me.
So we have TikTok for information. We also have Find Me Gluten Free for more information. I'm loving this theme of informative apps. What would be the last app you would save then, Hallie?
Okay. I feel like I need to like open my phone and like look because I download apps and then I never touch them again. They just like sit there and then I'll see it like months later and be like, wait, like I have that app. Oh, Shazam. I need Shazam.
More information.
Songs that I hear in public. It's if you guys don't know, it's like you press it and it listens and tells you the song and then it links you to Spotify and Apple Music. Like I wish I thought of Shazam. I can't live without Shazam. And those are my 3 answers. And if I need to communicate with people on those apps, I could figure it out.
Well, I mean, you still have like Messenger, like the end phone Messenger, something like that. Yeah. But that's really cool. Right. I love, once again, the theme of information. So you've got TikTok information, Find Me Gluten Free information, and Shazam music information, which I love because I'm a music nerd. So yeah.
Right. So if like you're out at a bar where it's like really loud or like someone that you don't like is playing a song and you don't want to give them the satisfaction of being like, yo, what song is this? You don't want to tell them that their music taste is good, you Shazam it. Or like shopping, I feel like retail stores, like I use Shazam like 20 times a week. I'm always listening and being like, I love this beat, let me Shazam it. It's a genius app in my opinion.
It's a great app. I used to Shazam so many DJ sets back in the day because I didn't want to ask the DJ, so I just okay, cool. All right, noted.
This is fun. I know this song.
Look it up. All right, Kat, what about you? Which 3 apps are you keeping?
Okay, so I guess for me, I do like WhatsApp because I like to stay in contact with all you squiddies and people from around the world very easily. So I do like that one. I like just like Amazon Music. So I have to listen to music every day in the morning. It like gets my mood going. I listen to it when I'm cleaning. I dance around my house. I blast music when I'm doing my makeup and exercising. So that's really important to me. And then I would be torn between, like, I don't know if we consider G Suite, like G Suite and Chase, because my business, I'm constantly looking at money and running the business all day, you know? So yeah, very
hard. So like as in like Google Suite, right? Like all the Google, like, and then Chase doesn't Chase the bank.
Yes. Not that those are fun, but I'm very money and business oriented. So that is What was that?
You're so practical.
Yes. Yeah. It's boring, but that is the real me. That's what I'm doing, you know.
I think we might have a workaround for that. If you use the Chase app, are you like doing anything like for example, are you transferring funds from one account to another account, or are you just checking funds?
Yeah. I transfer a lot of money. I look at different accounts I have going on. So I have a lot of different accounts because just being a business owner and having my personal accounts, I'm just constantly transferring money here and there and thinking about finances a lot.
Can you do that via the web browser? Does it have to be an app?
No, you wouldn't have to. No, the app is very similar to the browser. So no, you do not have to have that.
So then maybe that's the workaround. Maybe we keep Google Suite and then use the built-in web browser to access Chase.
Yeah, that could be it. But aside from that, okay, but this is kind of my cop out. You say workaround, but the truth is I don't really use apps much. I'm like barely. I don't have TikTok like Hallie's talking about. I only opened Instagram a month ago because of you Squid asking me to do it. And I haven't even done one post yet. You know what I'm saying? And I only opened Facebook a couple months ago just so I could talk to you guys. So I'm like, I'm like on such a far end of not using social media and apps. It's almost like I'm living in like the olden days, like the prairie days or something. So yeah, I don't really have very many.
Yeah, but the olden days were good times.
What, Hallie?
I was just calling you Prairie Cat.
Prairie Cat.
Oh, there we go, Prairie Cat.
I'll be baking bread at home and reading a book, you know. So yeah, don't really use the apps too much.
But what was the first app you mentioned one more time though? I would do a quick recap because I know you have Amazon Music, and then I'm gonna give you both Chase and G Suite because I mean, Boss Babe, you gotta do what you gotta do. So I'll give you both. Yeah. And what was the first one you mentioned before? WhatsApp. That's right. Talk to Us. That's right.
Yeah.
Right. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. No, I feel what you're saying, Kat. Like for me, I actually had Facebook, but before I got on the show, I took it down, but I kept the Messenger. But I've been trying to wean myself off of social media. But like, because I need to make an audience for like, you know, being a nice band now, because it's not just my band, I'm trying to get back into it. And I am too old for this. I can feel it in my bones. I feel it in my heart. I'm like, I don't want to do this, but I have
to. You know, I have to ask you now. So you can have just Messenger on Facebook. You don't have to have Facebook because I've never posted anything on Facebook. I only use the Messenger.
Yeah. So the way I do it is that like, I think if I wanted to, I could reinstate my profile. Like it's not deleted, it's deactivated, but I could always bring it back if I wanted to. But the thing is like, I can't change my profile picture or anything on, you know, my Messenger without having to reactivate my Facebook profile and get into that. But I mostly use it just to contact relatives because there were so many people who, you know, got into Facebook and then stopped at Facebook. They never went further than that. So like, you know, if something happens to like my mom, God forbid, or something, or, you know, my aunts or whomever could get into contact with me on Facebook as opposed to Instagram or like, you know, WhatsApp or TikTok, because that's more like, I guess it's like the white pages now of apps. So like, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Well, this was a very cool answer. Let's keep on going. And now we're going to keep talking about your life, but we're going to move away from technology, but you can answer with a technological answer if you'd like. Question number 4. If you had to eliminate one thing from your daily routine, what would it be and why?
I have so many.
So many.
I think my main is that like I have an intensely long nighttime skincare routine. I don't use that products, but I have like I just get lost in thought. And I'll like just dilly-dally and then I'll like pick at my skin. Like I'll find one pimple and I spend like 20 minutes just like picking at pimples or like hairs that just are literally barely there. And then I look at the clock and I'm like, oh my God, it's been 20 minutes that I've just been like in the bathroom doing nothing. And I just feel like I would get more sleep and my skin would look better. If I just did like face wash, moisturizer, brush my teeth, get in bed. But I'm always like, okay, what if I plucked my eyebrows right now? And what if I popped all of my pimples? And what if I also tried to pop this pimple on my back? Like I just take literally 45 minutes to do my nighttime routine, and it's not efficient.
I relate to that so much because I'm in the same way. Like I started getting adult acne in my 30s, right? And I cannot leave my face alone when I start doing my skincare. I'm just like, hold up, what's this? Oh, ingrown hair. Pull up these tweezers, make a mess of it, and now I've got like hyperpigmentation, and it's the whole deal.
Like blackheads too. Like you can't even see them with your naked eye. But if I like under my bathroom light, I'm in the mirror and I'm like, what if I just zoned out and like went at these blackheads for like 10 minutes? It's so bad for you and just a time waster. And I could literally get 30 more minutes of sleep if I just sped it up.
So we're knocking off invasive skincare, I guess, procedures.
Yes. Just the skin fooling with.
It's like the hyperfixation. You want to get rid of that. It's like just get through it, you know?
Yeah, and there might not be anything there. It's just like I'm like I have to inspect my entire face every night. It's so weird.
But I love that answer, and I relate to that answer, and I think that's a really good answer. All right, Kat, what about you? What are you eliminating from your daily routine?
Yeah, so I would definitely eliminate all social media and all TV. It's not a routine, but I find I check it more than I'd like to, and this is why. Like, I am someone who really likes to live in the moment, and I feel like when I check my apps, I'm like half in that world and half in this world. Yeah. And I hate that feeling. Yeah. I like to be in my home. I like to be in nature, like present. Like I like to feel things, you know, hear things, see things. And I just don't I almost despise TV. I do watch it. Like my partner likes to watch a lot of TV, so I will appease that. But I myself, like, I love just being in the real world. So I would get rid of, you know, there's days I leave my cell phone in a drawer all day.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And I feel the most alive when I do that. Like I'll go I'll power it off all the way and I'll put it in my nightstand and I'll call it cell phone free Sunday or something like that. And I'll just be playing board games with my kids. I'll be going on a run outside. And yeah, sometimes I'll miss my friends, but aside from that, I do not miss the technology at all. So.
I respect you for that. And like for me, like yeah, super impressive. The closest I can get to that is I'll put my phone on airplane mode just to listen to music because all my music's on my phone. But like, without saying too much, Kat and I, we're the same generation. Like we would be the same grade in school. So we remember that time where like, you know, you didn't have the internet on you all the time. Like you had to go home to go on AOL, Instant Messenger, and like message with friends.
You know, back in my day, it was like you rang the doorbell. Like if you wanted a friend, you had to get out of your comfort zone and you had to go see someone face to face. And honestly, I miss face to face interactions. I think that's why I'm so into therapy, because I get to see my people face to face and it's a real connection. Unlike today's world where it's all these like superficial connections, you know, they only go so far.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Were we going to say something, Hallie?
Yeah, I was just going to say that, like, that's so impressive. And I really wish that I did that more often. And maybe that's something I'll try to do. Like, I know that I never buy Wi-Fi on flights. And so if I have a long flight, I just am not on my phone for 6 hours. Even if I have my phone on me, but I'm only listening to music or just, like, being, like, practicing mindfulness in that I'm not on my phone. But I'm not reading anything. I'm just kind of, like, looking out the window, listening to my thoughts. Like, I always feel so refreshed. That's always when I'm like forced to not have my phone. Like I need a third party to interrupt and be like, you have to turn your phone off. I don't know if I could ever be like, I'm gonna put this in a drawer all day.
Well, you know, to each our own, right? But if you want to try it, just try it 1 hour, you know, like, and just see how it feels. Like go put your phone away and then go bake something in the kitchen, you know, or like be outside with no phone. Like back in the olden days, like in Nayo and me, our days, we didn't have phones. We'd be going on hikes like in the wild with no resource, you know, and right. Good luck. You know, nowadays it's like you leave the house without your phone. A lot of people will feel anxious doing that.
Yeah.
I would not know what to do. Like directions. It's also just like such a sense of safety. But it's just like I think if my phone were to randomly break, I'm like, I don't have an alarm clock. How would I set an alarm? Like,
True.
I would just feel so helpless. And maybe that's just my generation, but like it is so stressful.
But no, I think there's so much built into the phone that it's become so, I guess, convenient that it's become kind of like inconvenient to not have it, which is like this weird paradox. Because like just now you said about the alarm clock, that's real as hell because my only alarm clock now is my phone. Like, you know, I don't have like a analog alarm clock. So like, oh yeah, how about I wake up for work? Like, and then you wake up, you turn off your phone.
Use
and
my
like,
oven timer.
Yeah. And like right now, because like we're in the midst of Squid Game airing, it's like we're kind of back in the dorms. It's kind of like back when we got eliminated, where I check the WhatsApp immediately after checking my alarm to see what the new information is. And like, I love Squid Game, but I can't wait for it to be over so I can stop checking the WhatsApp like every 5 seconds, like every morning. It was like, oh, what happened? What happened? What happened?
Yeah.
I hear that. I've been getting sucked in. Like I open Instagram or TikTok and I'm just sitting there reading stuff for like an hour. I've been so distracted this week that I'm like, I need a phone solution, I think.
Yeah. All right. This is Cat. Hats off for the very thoughtful answer and for bringing both Hallie and I to be like, yeah, what would a
Humbled us.
life be like?
That was not my intention at all, just so you know.
No, in the best way, like respect.
Yeah, respect. All right, now we're on to my favorite question. So this is the one I'm super stoked to hear about, and we're going to be less heady and more head in the clouds. But I mean, this can go either way. But yes, my favorite question. I think you know what this question is.
You sure about that?
Let's hear it.
All right, here we go. Question number 5. If you were captain of a pirate ship, what would the name of your ship be? Oh, sorry. Let me say that question again. I've totally said it wrong because there's going to be text above me. So one more time. If you were captain of a pirate ship, what would be the name of your ship? All right. Excited for this.
Yeah. Hallie, you want to go?
So hard. Like I feel like I could think of this for like hours and come up with a better answer.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's so hard because it's like, obviously if I was captain of a pirate ship, like I would want it to be menacing, you know, like I wouldn't want it to be like the sassy ginger, like, you know, like
that sounds like pirate ship.
Come up with something like and intimidating. Like I couldn't make it too aligned with my own personal beliefs because no one would take my pirate ship seriously. I could think of a really funny pirate pun if I sat down like with a pen and paper and was like, all right, let's like crank these out. But I think, okay, so the pirate ship name that comes to mind is like the Black Pearl. Like that's like the classic. Is that Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah, that's Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah.
So that is so wild. The Black Pearl. I was thinking the same thing. Are we like on ESP or something here?
Maybe it's because it's like the only pirate ship name that exists in fictional media that I could think of right now. But I would change it to the Pink Pearl.
Pause. You know what I'm saying?
Girl, that is so you. I would just have the Pearl, and I'm not trying to piggyback off of yours, but you are so the Pink Pearl. But I will say, because, you know, the nail polish, you know, but I will say I would just do the Pearl. And why, this is so weird that we're both thinking this, but why is like pearls are very symbolic for me. Like when I was little, I lived on Pearl Street, and we were very low income at that point, very low. And I think back to those days all the time because it just makes me think of like how far things have changed in life. So like for me, and over time, you know, pearls are developed over time, you know. So like I think of pearls as very symbolic, you know. I love pearls. People think that's kind of like an old lady, old school jewelry, but I think they're gorgeous because of the symbolism. Yeah. So Hallie, let's take our pearls and like go rock the seas, you know. Let's do it. You'll be leading.
Yeah, like the pearl, the Pink Pearl, like it's girly, but it's very official. I think if I just had like, you know, a pirate ship where the pirates were just, you know, not trying to steal treasure and, you know, they were just fun pirates or like laid back pirates.
Yes.
My name would be something a little bit more like lighthearted, like maybe like a Protect the Booty. Like a fun in there. That's the alternative. Like if I'm like trying to pillage other pirate ships' treasures, like I gotta come up with some. It's gotta be intimidating. Like we mean business there. So
Have either of you seen the show Our Flag Means Death?
Mm-mm.
It's a great show. It's a pirate show. It's like a pirate comedy. I forgot the name of the guy who does it, but it's the guy from he's behind What We Do in the Shadows, the actual movie of that.
Oh,
it's hilarious. Okay, yeah. It's hilarious. I recommend it. I can't recommend it enough. It's a great show. It's about pirates, but it's such a good take on pirates. Yeah.
Yeah, because What We Do in the Shadows is,
yeah,
it's funny. They're real funny. So yeah, that'll be fun to check out.
I love both of your pirate ship names, Pearls and the Pink Pearls, and I'm shaking in me boots. I'm shivering me timbers right now just thinking about it.
I have to throw this out there. Hallie, I just love the girl power, and I feel like I really connect with you on that. And Nayo, thanks for having two, powerful women on your show.
Of course. I basically only have powerful women in my life. Like
I respect that. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
That's why. Okay, not to ruin it, but that's why I was so sad when they had the female alliance, because I'm a male. And I'm like, I wouldn't get chosen. Like I wouldn't get chosen.
I'd choose you. I would choose you.
I respect it, but can someone pick me too? But like, I'll pick a girl. But like just.
No, and like I picked a guy too. Like honestly. Yeah. Like if you had been there, like you're a homie, like we would have made it happen. Like it was, I think the guys that didn't get picked, they weren't like on your caliber. Like they weren't quite fully understanding what we were going for. Some of them did. I don't want to like put them on the same box, but it just is kind of like just understanding that powerful women are needed. Okay. And some of them just, you can't underestimate that.
But yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. And I think that was such a great moment that you women banded together and stood up in that way, because it was very inspiring for a lot of women in the real world. Like when I watched it, I thought, man, it's so nice to feel represented as a woman here. So you go, Hallie, and all of you, pretty
totally.
Sweet.
And, I wasn't going to let Roland and Elliot fall through the cracks. Like,
absolutely.
For day one.
Very cool. Very cool. I didn't expect to be touched so much by the answer to this question, but I'm in awe now. And now we're going to go on to the next question. And this question is usually kind of the hardest question for a lot of my guests, which is fair. So, take your time with it. You don't have to say a perfect answer. You can say whatever you'd like. But yeah, if it's a bit hard, that's fine. Sorry. Yeah. Question number 6. And this is my second favorite question, though. So I am interested in hearing what your answer is, but, no pressure. But number 6, what book did you read that changed your life the most?
Ooh. That's a good one. Thank you. Well,
yes.
Thank you.
Hallie, would you like to know? Yeah.
Yes, I was gonna say, like, I feel like Kat's gonna pull out like some educational, like deep philosophical, like book and be like, "This taught me like how to read human emotion." But I read this question and I immediately knew mine. Like, it's such a whimsical, silly book. It's called "The Particular Sadness of Lemon Cake." Oh.
I love that title though. The Particular Sadness of Lemon Cake. That's a hard ass title.
It's a relatively easy read, but the message is so deep that it's just guided me my entire life. This is so funny. This is like, I swear to God, this is not staged. It's just in my desk. Amy Sandon, everyone.
Oh, wow.
And it's such a short. It's also my mom's favorite book, and she gave it to me when I was older, but I grew up reading this book. It was just reading my mom's copy, and it's about a girl, and it's her childhood and young adult life, and she has a superpower, and it's that she can taste emotions in food. Like, she can taste the emotions of whoever food and know what's going on in their life. So the book begins where her mother makes a lemon cake after going through a hard time with their dad, and she just understands all the emotions that her family has been feeling. And at first she's like, I never want to eat again. I'm going to starve myself. I hate this. But she learns to take the gift and just really use it to her advantage. And I am like a hypersensitive person. Kat, I'm sure that there's a psychology term for this, but I'm an empath. But I really am. I so relate to the main character because it's like sometimes I just let my fear of what other people are feeling like kind of encroach on my life. But then also if I wasn't like so keen to other people's emotions and like so intuitive, I wouldn't be me. So it's just a book about dealing with your emotions and like really just feeling everything that life has to offer. And it's so cute and sweet. It's a short read, but I reread it all the time. It's like my favorite airplane book. So highly recommend.
I'm gonna look it up. I actually might just buy it off Amazon. I want to read that. That sounds really good.
Hallie, I want to drive out and borrow it from you. I'll buy you a coffee and grab the book from you, because that sounds right up my alley.
Gladly. It is. It's just a cute, fun book, but it also just it's one of those books it's a Roman Empire book. You think about it forever. I think about it 10 times a day.
Wait, hold on. I want to understand. Sorry. Let's pause real quick though. Sorry, I've been out of America for so long. I don't understand the Roman Empire thing. I was like, a dude's thinking about it that much? What?
I really don't know what started it. I think it was this random TikTok trend where they were like, guys think about it all the time. And so now it's just become a term of like something random that not everyone else thinks about all the time, but you just randomly think about it all the time. It's like that niche thing. But yeah, it was a very strange trend.
But I like that. So I like the thing you said, though, it's your Roman Empire book. Because I immediately know what you meant. But I was like, but why the Roman Empire? But I really like that, though. That's a really good endorsement for that book, though. I want to check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, can't wait to read it. I'm so excited. The book I would choose is a classic. So I like a lot of the Victorian era classic books, and it's Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. One of the Bronte sisters. This book I think about a lot because Emily Bronte has such a profound ability to capture introspection and human emotions and like that connection, that invisible connection between humans. And it is a love story. It is like a true love story, but it's so sad. It is so sad about two people who they have that invisible connection with each other, and they're going through life just missing each other, and going on with, what is the right thing to do, and what path do I have to take? And they're always coming into each other's worlds wishing they could be together. And it creates a lot of conflict and sadness. And I think about it a lot because life is like that sometimes. You have these connections and you want to pursue them, but sometimes
you can't. Real
life is in the way. And it's I think it's a bittersweet and beautiful book. The ending of the book is stunning. I don't want to spoil it. I don't think it will spoil the it doesn't spoil the story, but as in life, everyone dies eventually. And the ending scene of this book is their graves, like it's concluded, and it's just talking about, how their life has passed. And it's beautiful. I highly recommend it. If you like very dark, atmospheric books, is so dark and atmospheric, I will read that book in a nice warm bubble bath with a glass of wine and just be totally into it. And then I'll be thinking about it. I'm going to reread it.
That sounds right up my alley. Yeah, no, I think I had to read Wuthering Heights once in high school, but this was, a long time ago. And I remember I wanted to go back and reread it, but I never got the chance to because I just, life's busy. But I did love the theme of the two people, and it's like two ships passing in the night. But you can see each other, but you just can't make the connection to be together. And I think one of the great things about growing older and being an emo kid for so long is that I've had heaps of those connections where sometimes you just have to let them go because it's too painful to keep on to that. You're just like, I can't have you in my life because you just gotta go. You just gotta go.
Yeah. Did you have a thought, Hallie?
Yeah, I was going to say that I also had to read in high school, and I just feel like in high school they make us read all these heavy books. Like we were reading Steinbeck and Bronte and everything in high school, and at the time I just didn't get it. But now looking back, I'm like, if they had just let us wait a couple years, and I could have read that at 19 and totally gotten it. But at 15, I was like, what the hell? and like the whole plot, like it's so different, but also reminds me of Normal People by Sally Rooney, where it's just like the whole book is like a really frustrating, dark relationship between two people, and then all of a sudden all this time has passed and their lives are just kind of like going separate ways.
Yeah.
But the whole story is like when they almost made it, and it's very depressing. It's so relatable, like even not even romantically, but also just friendship wise, just toxic relationships and how we grow from them. And yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah, I think one thing I love about it is it really sheds light on like how you can think about someone a lot. You know, like someone can impact you, and there's like a scene in that book where, you know, they're dreaming of this person. They're like seeing this person in their mind's eye. And I think that is the case with a lot of relationships. Like when you're not with that person, you can think about that person, you know, and it has a profound impact on you. I love that book. I can't wait to reread it.
I'm gonna pick both of these books and read them both. Like I'm gonna reread Wuthering Heights for the first time in like, I'm not gonna say how many years, but then I'm also gonna read The Peculiar Taste of Lemon Cake. Was it?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I want to say one thing about Wuthering Heights before we let it go. It's the guy didn't end up with the girl originally because he didn't feel he was good enough for her, and she loved him. She loved him, and he thought, you know, he loved her too, but he never put it into words, and neither did she. They just had this invisible connection, and he felt he wasn't good enough, so he leaves to make himself rich and get all his stuff together. And that was a deficit, and that's how human behavior is. It's sometimes fear-based. We fear that the person won't love us and accept us for who we are, and we lose our opportunity. And that really sticks with me, because I think in friendships and relationships, a lot of people do that. We're afraid that we're not good enough, and we are. You know, we're fine.
I did that actually, and like I'm not trying to dry snitch on myself right now. I'm not gonna put out too much information, but I actually did that with you know, someone from my past. I just didn't think I was good enough for them, and you know, lo and behold, years go by. You know, I'm mature and all this stuff, and then that person came back to my life, and like I got the sense that, oh, they see me as a man now. Whoa. And like all this time I was like the little brother nipping at the heels, but like now like this person's like, you know, looking to me as something. But you know, at that point I got married, I had already moved on, and like it was so perplexing to be like, oh, how the turntables. You know. It's some real shit. Like, you know, I think especially like, you know, with dudes growing up and like the West, I'm not even in the East as well. Like, you know, there's like this thing where like, you know, if you're going to be like a dude and be like the breadwinner or whatever, be like the dude of the relationship, you have to be at a certain, like, I guess status. If you're not there, then don't even apply, you know? And like, obviously things are changing now, but like still like it's ingrained. And I think even taking gender out of it, taking like, you know, whatever out of it, I think just people feel that in order to like, you know, deserve somebody else, you have to be at a certain level before like, you know, someone can see the worthiness in you. And yeah, damn, I'm gonna go read Wuthering Heights now.
Yeah,
I'm trying to put the sad songs now. I'll see you guys later.
Know. Yeah, right. Goodbye. But no, the reality is, it hones in on the point like, oh, we think we need to meet these societal, you know, points in life to be good enough, but the true connection is between people and their emotions, and like, you know, really connecting with each other, and we lose sight of that. You know, chasing these dumb dreams. I have to look a certain way. I got to make enough money. I got to dress a certain way. I have to have a job. That's all fleeting stuff, and it does not matter, because at the end of the day, your connection with someone is the realest thing there is in the world. So like, don't worry about all that little stuff.
We got Cat dropping gems over here. Who's cutting onions? Is that? I think Pooh Bear's cutting onions over there in the back.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, let's go on to the last question, and then we're going to go into the plus ones for both of you. All right. Now, this question, obviously, I want to know as well. Like, I think for me, question 5, 6, and 7 are probably my favorite questions from the 7 original questions. All right. Now, I want to say this question, I want to preface it. This is not which one do you like better, but which one do you think represents you, or which one do you think you embody? All right. So question number 7, are you spring, summer, fall, or winter? Please explain why.
I'll go first.
Okay.
So I'm definitely summer. And why I say summer, why I would be represented as that is I think I'm really in the moment, you know, like I'm really in full bloom. Like I'm not in the getting there or ending, I'm like in the living right now, like the full. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I love summer. It's my absolute favorite time of year. There's something magical about summer nights, but yeah, I'm definitely a summer person in personality, I think.
That's very cool.
Yeah. What about you, Hallie?
I would put you at summer too, like just sugar sweet, like just open and accepting. Like that's just that summer energy. I do love summer, but I think I just personality wise probably wouldn't be a summer. I think I'd be more of a spring. I do have that sweetness and like accepting quality to me, but I also have like a temper and I have sass to me. And so I think spring is very much like you're coming off from winter. You're headed in the right direction, but you have moments. There's storms. It's a little bit stormy, but then also you have things starting to pop up. Like I think it's like I'm very so emotional. I'm either like very angry and like defensive and like, I'm very like when it comes, fierce when it comes to the people I love. I'm so opinionated, but then I also just like love life. I'm very excited to just be alive all the time, probably too much so. And I think that's just, I'm like a golden retriever that sometimes bites. That's right.
I think that's going to be like the tagline. Like a golden retriever.
Or maybe a chihuahua.
Chihuahua. No, I love that. And I think it kind of like spring personalities kind of highlight, like there's so much to come. Like there's so much good coming right around the corner, and for you, like there is, right? Like you've got so much going on and so much good coming right around. So
yeah. Nayo, what would you be? Am I allowed to ask?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I want to hear that too.
I think I might be in good company to get a second opinion on this now, because I love the clarity in which both of you answered your questions with. I think this is like the record. It's like the fastest I've ever gotten an answer for this. Like you just knew it. So my favorite season is actually autumn, but I feel that I'm a winter person. And I only say that because winter has a bad rap. I'm from Florida. We don't really have winter. But I do think that when you get used to it, there's a stillness and a beauty to it that's quite haunting. And I think that I'm kind of a haunted person in the fact that I'm just always kind of sad. So but I try to find the beauty in sadness as a human emotion, as part of the human experience. But I do think that I'm a winter person, but I don't necessarily want to be winter. But I do think that winter is me in that sense. But I'd like a second opinion from you two.
Can I weigh in? Because I know you. You and I are pretty close friends.
Yeah, we are.
I really think winter is in your soul, and this is why. Because this, the animals are hibernating and the seeds are underground, and I think you have, people who know you have to do a deep dive with you to see all the beauty hidden under there, and it's there. It's just deep inside, and I do think. Your aesthetic and your persona, it comes across when I first met you, I was like, this guy's very mysterious, right? you don't wear it all out there. It's kind of deep in you. So I think you are a winter, but I would say you're at the tail end of autumn, right when the frost is hitting, right?
Okay.
You're at kind of a transitional, you got some autumn in you for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I do agree, winter for sure. I think autumn has a warmth to it that you also possess, but I think you're right in that winter just is, it's mysterious, but I also think it's serene. Think about when it's snowing. There is no quieter time in the whole year than when it's snowing. There's just a quiet peace when it's snowing that is you. I don't think you're the blustery cold winter that comes in February, March. I think you're the late November, December, early January of those first couple snows. This is so deep. I love how philosophical we're getting. But I also
think anyone's ever said to me at once. So thank you very kindly for this.
Sorry, there's there's just a piece to it, Ice King, but in the best way.
Head now.
No, I totally agree.
What we were. Think is cool. We all just had this intuition where we're this is what I want to be, but this is what I am, and we all were yes, that's you.
Yes. Yeah. Wow, this is so great.
Yeah.
And we got 3 out of 4 seasons. We just need our autumn, and I think you've had a couple autumns on your show, right? So we should like have.
Autumns. Yeah, I can't remember now because it's been so long.
It's Kiara.
I should know this. I'm gonna insert a clip of it right now.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Clip it right now. We'll find out after I'm done editing. But I think Kiara. To be fair, I do think she might have been autumn. To be fair, either autumn or spring. I think she was one of the transitional seasons. So yeah, I don't think she was summer or winter. I think she was one of the ones in between. So I want to say autumn, but it could very much be spring. But we'll find out in 5 seconds.
Okay, so I think I give off autumn vibes.
All right. All right. No, that was really cool. I feel like we should do this every two Sundays a month. You have cocktails and brunch and then talk about books and seasons.
Yeah, we should. We should. I'm thinking of doing a psych podcast. So if I do, I want both of you with me so we can talk deep stuff, I'm
there.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Now, for my favorite segment, though, of the whole thing, this is where I turn it over to you, and we're going to do plus ones. Now, how this works is that you would choose a question from the list, or because we've been through Squid Game together, you can think of your own question as well, but we all have to answer it. So, same. It could be about anything, whatever question, but all 3 of us have to answer it. So, yeah.
I'm going to pull up the list, okay? Because I saw some good questions on your list.
Well, thank you. I pulled them from the internet too. So these are all from the internet, from different websites. I just put them together. So I can't take any credit for it, but thank you.
I'm reading.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, I have the list too. Right.
Gotta get our little group chat up. Yeah.
So we each pick one?
Yes, you each pick one. And we will answer
all 3 of us first,
question.
Right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think that's usually how it goes because it was only just 2 people. So it's just I gave the interviewee a break. But yeah, sure, you can ask me and then we'll throw it back to whoever asked the question and then we'll go to the next person. Or I can go last. That's fair too. Since there's 2 of you, yeah. That's how you interview each other and then I'll answer last then, I guess.
I feel like we just got so deep and
We did.
I just feel like this might be a lame question, but I think it says so much about a person is what is your favorite time of day? Like morning person, night owl, do you like a late afternoon? Like I just feel like I can tell so much about people from just that one thing. So that's my pick.
Question. All right, so we're going to go from Haley to Cat first, and then Haley will answer, and then I'll answer. Sure.
Okay, that was confusing. So is Haley going or am I going?
So Haley's asking you first. And then you ask her, and then I'll just jump in at the end. Yeah.
Okay. Well, time of day. So growing up and all throughout my teen and early 20s, I loved nighttime, very nocturnal. And one little nerdy thing about me is I'm obsessed with space. So there's this magical time. I used to work overnights for the hospitals and for the police, and there's this magical time that you can be out at night outside and just looking at all the stars and you're just thinking, whoa, and it's just a beautiful, quiet, peaceful time where you get very introspective and there's something really wonderful about that. There's one other time that I've recently, I'm going to throw in 2. One other time of day that I really love, and it's in the morning when the sun is coming up and the dew on the grass is kind of like dissipating or the frost is melting. There's something, I literally will be out on a run and stop dead in my tracks just to look and observe that transition point. And I think it represents, life and how fleeting it is and how beautiful it is and being really present in the moment. Hallie, are you going next or?
Yeah, Hallie's next.
That was a stunning answer.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to answer now.
That was so hot, like the dew. Bye. Yeah. I mean, I've always been a morning person. I get up on days I'm in the office. I get up at 5:15, and days I'm not in the office, I do like a 6:30. And I don't even know. Like, yes, I do love the morning, and I love the sun coming up. I love being in the light. I'm not a night owl. Like, I literally go to bed at like 9 to 10 p.m. I love nightlife, like hitting the bars and stuff, but like actual nighttime isn't my thing. But I don't know if it's because it's like symbolic of anything to me, I think my body and my mind just work better in the morning. I'm more focused in the morning. I feel like I think more positive thoughts in the morning. I'm more productive. And then by like 3 p.m., like my brain doesn't work anymore. Like the morning, I'm just like, yeah. And then I come home from work and that's like my chill time. Like I do not want to go to the gym after work. I do not want to do work after work. I want to have a cocktail and like watch TV. Like I just am not someone who can like stay up till 2, like on a Reddit rabbit hole. I can go into Reddit rabbit holes, but that usually happens at like 7 a.m. So.
Specifically Reddit.
100% morning over here.
I think when I heard this question, I had a specific time that popped into my head. And this is going to age me a bit. So Kat, get ready to back me up on this. I think for me, my favorite time of day is probably 8 p.m. Like when I was a kid, like I'm a morning person now because of my job. Like I wake up like at 4 when I have like a 12-hour shift, and then like usually my days off, I just kind of wake up around 4 and go back to sleep. But it's still dark outside in Japan when it's 4 o'clock in the morning. But also 8 p.m. is usually dark. But I think for me, there's a magic to 8 p.m. that stems from my childhood because when I was a kid, ABC used to have TGIF.
ABC Friday.
And like it started at 8 p.m. and it would finish at 10. And then Nickelodeon had Snick.
So take a seat on the big orange couch and snick.
Which also started at 8 p.m. and it would finish at 10. So like for me, I was like, 8 p.m. is the jam. Like, you know, that's when all the fun stuff happens. And as a kid, 8 p.m. is, you know, it's not midnight, but it's kind of up there. You're like, oh, it's 8 p.m. Oh, I'm staying up late. Everybody
Love that.
Pizza bites, some pizza and bagel bites, or some pizza rolls. All right, yeah.
Yeah, you're really bringing us back. Pizza rolls or whatever those bagel, but yeah, those things. Oh my god.
So
yeah, you captured that feeling for sure.
Yeah. So my favorite, like actual like numerical time of day is 8 p.m. That's my favorite numerical time of day. But I think my favorite part of the day though, just whenever the sun's not out. So whether that's like, you know, early morning or like, you know, early afternoon, just when the sun's down, I feel kind of revitalized. But like you said, like I'm not a night owl anymore. Like right now I'm awake because I need to be. But like I can stay awake. But I kind of, you know, recently like around like 9:30, 10, I'm like, oh, I turn to the sleepy time bear and just like pass out. But,
Time bears, so
yeah, I follow this Instagram account. It's definitely like, you know, corporation trying to, you know, pander to us and our emotional feels, but I'm here for it.
be relatable.
Yeah, very corporate relatable. Yeah. All right, and that was a great question. I really liked that. That was fantastic. All right, Kat.
I get to ask the next one, and I'm just consulting the list. And I'm going to go with invisibility or mind reading. Would you choose invisibility or mind reading as like a super skill? Was that
on my list? That sounds like a new question. I like that question, but I don't think it's on.
Yeah, it's on here. It's on here, but you know, I thought I had read one that was like you could pick up a new skill. What would it be? But it's not on here.
I'm gonna add it. So was it invisibility or mind reading? Yeah, that's dope.
Yes. Yeah. Let's hear it. Which one of you two wants to go first? Hallie?
For me, I immediately like don't even have to think about it. Invisibility.
Really?
Mind reading, hurt. Yeah, mind reading, I would get my feelings hurt. Like there is no like invisibility. I still feel like would give you the ability to hear people's conversations, so you could still get your feelings hurt, but it would be more voluntary. Whereas if I could just read everyone's mind, I don't need to know that. No. The only way I would need to know that is if I were playing like poker or Circle of Trust.
Circle of Trust, yeah.
But like I think for me, I do not need to know everyone's thoughts, especially about me. I think invisibility, like I would use it, like especially for like celebrity gossip, like to be a fly on the wall. Like, I need to. I'm sorry. Or like walking home at night, no one would target me as a small young woman.
Oh yeah,
that's real. That's a real ass answer.
Like I just feel like invisibility is helpful for so many things, but mind reading is like not as applicable, and I just think ignorance is bliss in some instances, you know.
Yeah. What about you, Kat? Which one would you choose?
Mind reading, 100%. So, like, you know, like my profession, you know, I'm obsessed with the human mind. I wouldn't have gone into this profession if I was not. You know, I see it as the greatest enigma that exists, you know, the human mind. But why I would want it, I don't want to hear stuff about myself. I think Hallie's got a very valid point on that. But if I did hear stuff, it would be very humbling, which I think we can all, you know, learn from. But for me, like, this is the truth. I get frustrated in relationships, friendships, especially when my friends are not totally transparent. Like, I can tell when people are holding back to maybe be kind, or, you know, to keep the mood up. And I am not afraid to know, like, what the deep thoughts are. I love it when people are vulnerable with their deep thoughts, even if they're not PC, even if they're not what the world wants to hear. I love that. So for me, you know, I would definitely want to know. And plus, in my profession, half of the work is being so attuned to somebody, reading their nonverbal cues, that I basically feel like I have to try my best to read them so much. So if I had that skill, it'd just make it a lot easier, you know, in the office. Yeah.
That's a good point to bring up, especially in relations to your profession as well. Like, I think that's a really good point I think that's a really good case for the ability to read minds. So
yeah, because I also think of this, like, have you ever had a friend who, like, you're like, man, they seem a little off. I'm going to call them and check in. I want to see if they're okay. And they're like, yeah, I'm good. And you just wish you could hear what they're really feeling. Yeah. You want to be there with them. You want to be present in the moment with them. And sometimes people hold back, and that's their right. So I wouldn't want to violate anybody's rights, but, like, you know, it would be really cool to know, you know, how, you know, I think that'd be amazing.
Yes. And that is so the therapist in you too, like, just really wanting to, like, understand your loved ones on a deeper level. Like, that's a good point.
Oh, I should probably
Nayo?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm a big old baby. I would probably choose invisibility. Now, the thing is, because, like, I just remember the show True Blood. And Suki could read minds. I remember, like, the opening scene, her and her being the waitress, and, like, just the most asinine things people were thinking. And I think the only reason why I would choose invisibility right now is because I don't know if they're if you can turn it off and on. Are they voluntary powers? Like, are you just always, like, for example, like, every day at 12 p.m. to, like, 1:15 you turn invisible and you can't do anything about it? Or, like, you just always read minds and you can't turn it off? If it was one of those extremes, I would choose invisibility. But if I could, like, you know, control it, I might be inclined to choose mind reading, but I'm still a baby. And, like, I live in Japan where people are very repressed. So I don't want to know what people are thinking out here. Like, I don't think I need to know what they're thinking out here. Like, maybe in America and the West, it might be a bit more palatable because, you know, people are used to express themselves a bit more. So they haven't got that much pent up rage inside of them, I guess. But, like, I would, if I could figure out what my neighbors are thinking here, I would be scared probably. I'd be like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
So
I think big babies unite. We don't need to know.
Yeah, I'm scared. Like, I'm soft on the inside. Yeah. But I mean, it would be, well, I can see the benefits of mind reading though. But I think my only caveat is that I think the benefits that I would get from mind reading, I could maybe accomplish with a little bit of invisibility and elbow grease. Like, you know, if I want to, like, you know, let's say if I wanted to rob somebody, right? Just, you know, because I'm from Florida, I could, you know, just turn invisible and follow them home and, like, watch them punching the number to their safe and be like, okay, I got it. As opposed to, like, you know, trying to traverse through their mind. And they're like, you know, Niall's looking at me with this big ass nose and I hate his eyes and he thinks he's so cool with his tattoos. And I start crying, even though I want to rob them. So, like, you know, I'm an emotional child. So I don't know if I can handle all that.
I relate to that. But I think you could use invisibility, like, to your advantage if you really wanted to find something out.
Yeah.
You know, but mind reading, I just have to defend mind reading since you two are uniting. Like,
Go ahead.
Mind reading, like, you're going to know if the people around you are sincere or not, right? Are they sincere? You know, are they, like, do they care about you? And I'm not saying, like, judge all you want, right? But, like, do they have a good heart? Are they kind of, like, coming from a good place? I think that would be so priceless to know, you know?
No, I I don't know. I think.
I get it. I do.
Yeah, I think mind reading is not for the weak, and I'm weak. So I just like it's like me just like admitting defeat. Like I wish I could take mind reading. That'd be hard, but I know that I'd be reduced to a puddle of tears after like 2 days. I'd just be like, but I do respect the mind reading choice. I think that's a good choice, and I wish I could choose that, but I know myself.
It's got pros and cons. I mean, like Hallie said earlier, ignorance is bliss in some cases, absolutely.
Right.
But like knowledge is power in some cases. So you got both. You're basically just choosing to broaden your spectrum, both for positive and negative. It's like, yeah, ignorance is bliss. We all would love to go back to the olden days, but think of what you could do if you could read everyone's mind.
Oh, I just thought of something else though. But what if you're like sick in public and like you can't go to the bathroom in time? Just turn invisible. You can handle your business there. Like would human excrements also be invisible? Or would they, would they come out? They come out as human excrement? Yeah, one too many drinks. You're like, I don't feel too good. But hold on, invisible. It's just puke out of nowhere, or would the puke also be invisible?
Right, and can you feel somebody if they're invisible? Like, could you touch them? Like, could you feel them? Or are they like, you put your hand through them like a ghost? Like,
I think they still exist. Like, you still take up space. You just couldn't be seen. But I think that your excrement would definitely be invisible because that's like technically part of you. Like you wouldn't like see the contents of your stomach.
This is true.
But if you walk through a room, you can see the footprints on the carpet. Like,
it's so creepy.
I like invisible man stuff here.
Yeah, I think it would be that, unless of like an omnipresent like God type thing, Like I think there'd be some caveats to that, of course.
Now I'm getting spooked.
I know, me too. Got the chills right there, but
yeah. All right. Well, I think on that note, let's go ahead and wrap this up because I know that some of us do have to go to work in a couple of minutes, and I don't want to keep us from that. But before we get into the finishing up spiel, I just want to say thank you both very much. This was great. This is my first time with 2 people, and I could have chosen 2 better people. Ladies, thank you so much for this. Any closing remarks that you'd like to say out there to the people, or to each other, or to whomever?
I really enjoyed this chat. It just felt like a little hangout. And I couldn't also not have asked for a better guinea pig partner in Cat. So,
oh, Hallie. I feel the same way, Hallie. I loved hanging out with you both. I definitely feel like this chat brought us closer together, and we should do it again. It was fun.
Yeah, we should do it on your psychology channel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start it up, and I'll be, we'll have a little, tea time together and talk. I'll give you guys questions. I got lots of questions I could ask, and then you guys just go wild.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
All right. Well, thank you both very much for coming on to, sorry.
No, I'm just saying thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you both very much for coming on to the show. If you have any links or whatever, I'll put them down below. So let me know whatever you would like me to, place down below. And to everyone watching this, if you enjoyed this, thank you very much. I will hopefully have them on again for something else in the future. Please like and comment and subscribe, but don't forget to subscribe because that helps my channel grow so I can, not be a security guard anymore. So, yeah. All right, ladies, thank you very much. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.